today's episode of Garage Topics, we take the C10 for a test drive, and I give it full beans, full throttle, full goosing, whatever you want to call it, for the first time. Here we go. She's spicy. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. I can't believe I haven't made a video yet, but today we're driving the C10. If you caught my other video, I was at Grid Life recently, took it there, but right behind us is the Corvette Museum. I live in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I'm gonna take a ride home. We've got some sweet back roads to take this thing on, and I can't wait to show you what this thing's made of. I got a bunch of questions and comments on this, but this actually is a 1974 C10. Has a front clip from like an 87 Silverado, Suburban, whatever. Go watch my other video, I'll link to it. It's the whole setup, but long story short, it's a 5.3 LS with a Chinese turbo built for a lady. The weakness is the rear end. It only spins one wheel when it gets a little aggressive, and you'll probably see here in a second, it's aggressive. But it's not finished by any means, but it does run and drive very nicely for what it is. The interior needs a lot of love, but the gauge cluster looks pretty nice. This is a great 20-foot truck. The black on this video probably makes the truck look incredible, but when you get up and close and personal, this thing is pretty ratty, but almost no rust in it at all. I love it. It's a ton of fun. Enough jabbering, let's get behind the driver's wheel and take this thing on out to the country. I've put about 150 miles in this truck. This is in the middle of a move, so I'm not done with this truck by any means, but it does run and drive reasonably okay. It does need some tweaks. I'll go over that in a little bit, but I put about 150 miles on it, and I know that because of the Harley gauges. I need the keys to start the truck. They're in the ignition. I've got the gauges in the cluster, and I've also got the 2-minute RX gauge monitor here to let us know what's going on, so let's give it a rip. I've got an exhaust cut out, but I'm going to leave it open because it sounds great. The fuel pump prime. All's good. I've got the gauges on here set up. If anything's bad, it'll flash yellow then red. Everything's good to go right now, and we can monitor it while we drive. I want to have a nice place to mount this on the dash eventually so I can both look at it, and if I need to use it for the touch screen, take it off. But for now, it's going to rest on the bench. Here we go. Door doesn't close that well. That's how you know you got a good truck. I mentioned this in previous videos, but it only spins one wheel, and this thing has a lot of power. I'm probably at 10 or 11 pounds of boost, and I'm guessing maybe upper 400s, low 500s wheel horsepower, pushing it through one wheel with no weight over the back, so it gets a little happy every now and then. Truth be told, I'm kind of scared of this truck, and I haven't used it a whole lot because I don't want anything to break on it real bad. Now, the turbo doesn't really spool when it's at idle, but when you have a load under it, you'll hear it. I'll give it quarter throttle. Woo! Sounds spicy. There is probably about, 75, 80 degrees of play in the steering wheel before anything happens, so driving on tight back roads is a little tough, so we'll give it a little good. I just felt the back end come out. I think getting the steering box tightened up and getting two wheels spinning at the same time when going in a straight line with boost, this would be a mighty fine truck. And the interior is in not the best shape. The seat's nice, the gauges are nice, but the door panels are falling apart. Air comes in everywhere. It doesn't have heater AC. Most of those all addressed. This is a 480 transmission in this car, which means it's got an overdrive. When I come over this hill here, I'm keeping it in drive right now, but I'll bump it into overdrive. It just purrs along in 1300 RPM. Yeah, that's gone in yet. There it goes. Cruising at 1100 RPM, doing 55, just cruising. It has a stock 10 bolts in the rear, so that needs to be changed. The gearing's pretty low. I'm gonna hit Oh my god. This thing is wild. I'll do that again here in a little bit when it's straight, and I'm gonna put the GoPro in the back, and maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. I just thought it was moving around a little bit, like the suspension wasn't high when I first started driving it, but it turns out it's just spinning that one wheel going all over the place. Yeah, this is real pretty back in here. Real pretty. Hopefully you can see that river. Brakes are working. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna flip this backwards because I'm not sure if I'm having traction issues or not, but like I seem to be not able to hook up a little bit. I don't know why, it's the darndest thing. I'm gonna give the goose here real quick. Ready? Sorry. Golly! if this is all this truck does, I'll be totally fine with it. I'd like to spin two wheels, but it's a lot easier to spin one wheel. But oh my god, this is a smoke show. This thing is wild. Alright, I'm gonna start a data log. So I didn't realize it was this easy. From the touch screen of the Terminator X, I can start a data log whenever I want to. You can actually set it up for parameters, like when it hits certain boosts, it'll start the data log instantly for you. Throttle, multiple inputs will start a data log for you, which is really cool. So, start log. Started, we're good to go. Alright, boost here. Golly. This thing is very quick. It doesn't break 10 psi. It just keeps going, but I can feel the whole thing just popping. Oh my god. Oh, I can just do this all day. It's the speed that sketches me out because the steering wheel has so much play, or the steering shaft has so much play. Thankfully, there are easy solutions to get rid of some of the couplers on the shaft and also get a tighter box. So that's what I need to do because it does actually have a little bit of a leak. The box does itself. That tried to throw me the dick. Oh my god. The thing just wants to eat you. Oh my god. This thing is so much fun. Holy crap. I'm gonna do this more often. Oh my god. This is a riot. The engine in my Corvette, the C506 Donnie, whatever his name is now, I'm over it, like broke up with me or whatever. That was a very high horsepower build, 90 aspirated. It was very fun. This here, this thing probably makes a little bit more wheel horsepower right now, but I have 10% of the cost of the engine. Like, I have 10% of the cost, so if something happens to this engine, it'll be upsetting, but it won't be a financial disaster. But it's a riot because I can floor it, go nuts all the time with it, and not worry, just have fun. That's why I really like this style of build. Sure, it can be nicer cosmetically, and we'll do that, but the fundamental piece of this build, the goal that I had to set out with it when I made it was to have fun, and that's what we're doing out here. And what a great day. again, this car is not fully put together, so I've got this cigarette lighter situation that turns the cutout on and off, called the Club Duty switches for all the OGs that are out there. Quiet. Oh man, it's almost a different truck. It's totally quiet. Hopefully you can pick up from this. You probably hear me a whole lot better with this setup, but believe me guys and gals, this thing still get it with this thing closed. I'm going to have to prove it here in a second. There's a goose. Golly. Yeah, it still gets it with the cutout closed. I don't have a catch can on this thing yet, which is probably a bad no-no pushing on that boost. So I'll get home, I'll check to make sure there's no oil everywhere in the engine bay, but I actually have a catch can. So now that I feel confident in goosing this thing, I'm gonna get that catch can, may as well call it a goose can set up. And all it's gonna do is, instead of putting oil back into the intake to burn it, to do things, it's gonna put it into a little can so I can dispose of it and not clog up the intake with oil. But yeah, I mean, get the shimmying straight. I'll keep you guys posted with what the shimmy actually is. My guess is it's a wheel, not perfectly centered or aligned on the hub, but get that centered. Get two wheels spinning at the same time. Get the interior a little bit nicer, and we'll be set. We'll be a very nice backroads tuning cruiser, or Lowe's, whatever, wherever you want to go. But that's all I got. I really appreciate you guys riding along with me here. That was a lot of fun. That honestly was the first time I've gone nuts in this truck, so I'm glad I was able to share that with you guys. If you got any questions about the truck, let me know in the comments. Check me out on Instagram and Facebook. I don't have TikTok yet, but that might change. So by the time of this video, if you want to see me ticking and talking, check out the description if I got one. But till then, catch you guys later. Keep it Call of Duty fresh. Make sure your dog doesn't eat any weird salmon treats that make it constipated, and then it makes the traction a little bit weird for you. You won't be able to do as many burnouts. Catch you guys later. Peace out.